Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Mansa Shroff. Welcome again to Teach in Two. I am so pleased today to be introducing Shwen as the guest speaker. Shwen and I have a lot of things in common, including the two Cambridges that remain a constant source of healthcare inspiration between the two of us. So I'll let Shwen introduce himself, and then we're going to be discussing a very interesting concept today.
Thank you, Manza. It's a pleasure to be here. As mentioned, my name is Shwen Gwee, and I have been in the biopharmaceutical space for the last 20 years. And before that, I actually trained to be a behavioral neuroscientist. And part of that was in Cambridge, the one in England, which is another connection that we have, right? Um, and in my pharmaceutical career, I focused entirely on digital strategy and innovation
Mhm.
across functions like commercial, so digital marketing,
Yep.
clinical, so digital recruitment and retention for clinical trials, and then my last 5 years in corporate really focused on enterprise-wide innovation. So at Novartis, I was part of the Novartis Biome, which is a global network of innovation hubs. At BMS, I headed up innovation across all the major functions, so R&D, clinical, commercial, manufacturing, supply chain.
Yeah. That's amazing. So when people talk about wearing multiple hats, they should remember you and everything that you've done in the previous years. So, Shwan,
Thank
today
you.
we're going to be talking about something that you've spent a lot of time around and you're very, very passionate about, as I see from your LinkedIn work. You're talking about Gen AI for pharma. Can you tell us a little bit more about that in under 2 minutes?
Sure. So GenAI for Pharma is actually the name of a global event series that I launched and created about a year ago. We've had 5 events so far. We did Boston, Basel, London, New York City, and most recently in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
The idea of the event is really to showcase the application of generative AI in the biopharmaceutical industry. As someone who spent many years in the pharmaceutical industry looking at emerging technologies and how to bring it in, when generative AI came out with ChatGPT's launch, I realized that, wow, the applications in pharma are far and wide, and we could use it in many different places. But the struggle is to figure out what to do first, what the priorities are, where the value and impact will be created best. And so I wanted to create this series so that we could really showcase from thought leaders who might have been doing this for a long time and understand how the application would create the most value, they can share that information with many people, and then also showcasing startups that are building tools for pharma using generative AI. And the idea of generative AI in pharma, or for pharma, I should say, sorry, Gen AI for pharma, is really the fact that you can use this new technology, which is really focused on understanding intention and really being able to look at unstructured data to be able to then create new content, generate new creative content. And so that application could be as early as R&D, where you're starting to design proteins, all the way through clinical trials, where you're designing clinical trial protocols, and then to commercial, where you're actually designing content, whether it's text-based or image and creative
Yep.
artwork.
Got it. Got it. That's interesting. That's very, very cool. So I'm guessing for the viewers who are interested in being a part of the Gen AI for Pharma dialogue, they can find these communities in Massachusetts, in Basel, in London. And then hopefully we can also bring something to Cambridge, UK, because we're Cambridge alums.
I would love to do that.
We should definitely make that happen, and
Yeah.
perhaps to other parts of Asia somewhere down the line too.
Yes, we had a partnered event in Singapore earlier this year, but hopefully we can do a full event at some point next year. And if anybody wants to know more about it, they can go to genai4pharma.com, and that's the number four, not FOR, but genai number four pharma.com.
Very hashtag worthy. So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Wen, for being here. Sharing a bit more about the multiple hats you've worn in your career. I'm sure people who look at your profile, especially young leaders who are aspiring to be in pharma, can gather some inspiration from the work you've done and be an active part of the conversations around Gen AI, which will definitely get integrated into the work of pharma in the coming months. Right? We're talking in
I,
months.
I mean, there's a lot of examples already in that are in use and in market, and also a lot of experimentation. So I have no doubt that it will only continue to grow in terms of its application within pharma.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Shivan, for being here and looking forward to keeping in touch.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you.